Hey Alpha Fam, Coach Jam here with another market update. Before we begin, I do want to say that nothing in these videos is financial advice. Everything's for educational purposes only. It's just my own analysis on the market. Also, if you're new to the Alpha Syndicate channel, if you could please give us a like, comment, and a subscribe, we really do appreciate the support. Let's get into the market, guys. So, we've had a couple of different dynamics that have happened over the last few days. The first one was Trump comes out and makes an announcement on Wednesday at 9 p.m., and there was a bunch of rumors swirling. The worst of the rumors were a ground invasion announcement. We did not get that. The one that everybody was praying for, which was a ceasefire, also did not get announced. We got the second worst announcement, which was a continuation of a bombing campaign on Iran. Obviously, you can see the crypto markets sold off during this time, and then you can actually see oil pumped. All right? And then the very next day, we get something else that happens that's even more interesting. Then we get an announcement that Iran and Oman are drafting a protocol to regulate ship traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. Look at what they're accepting payments as. Yuan and crypto payments, which is crazy. It just shows the amount of adoption that's actually here, especially for crypto and stablecoin protocols, guys. With that being said, we started to get a pushback on oil, but since then has pushed back up. Something else that we just had that got announced just a couple of minutes ago, unemployment has dropped again. They were actually forecasting it at 4.4. It went up, or they were forecasting it to stay the same, and it actually dropped a little bit. It's not really the best announcement for us, guys. And the reason why is because everybody is so hyperfixated still on rate cuts. And rate cuts are when you get basically the TLDR for rate cuts are the Fed wants to see inflation drop to their 2% goal. And with a slight increase in unemployment, that is usually what causes them to start lowering interest rates, guys. All right? So when people see the interest rates when they see unemployment lowering, it makes the markets, and actually you can see it right now, we're starting to get a little bit of a sell-off on that announcement because that's the correlation between the two. So people say, oh no, unemployment's lowering, they're not going to cut rates. I think that's the bad way to look at it right now, guys, because of this. Here soon, the person that's been running the mandate for the Fed is no longer going to be the guy running the mandate for the Fed. And even though we've had all these really bearish things happen over, really the last 6-7 months, there's some really bullish things that are happening that nobody's really highlighting or talking about that I think that people need to understand. And this is the reason why I keep telling people, set limit orders. Let these bearish events come down and fill those orders. So you're building active positions, getting prepared for what I think is going to be the breakout that we have later this year in the beginning of the next bull run. And you don't want to get left behind on that, guys. I'm serious. With that being said, the reason I keep talking about this stuff, guys, is this. So even though we've had all this bearish stuff happen, we have a couple of really good things coming up. And even though unemployment and all of this stuff wasn't a good announcement for today, just realize that May's coming up here. We're basically a month away from it at this point. We're in April, all right? Next month, Jerome Powell gets replaced. Trump's guy is going to come into the office and take over that position. I think with the full understanding that he is going in for that job to do one thing and one thing only, to continuously lower those rates and to ensure this does not stop. This is something I haven't seen nobody talk about. $18.18 billion was just pushed into liquidity was just pushed in by the feds, and we have finally, since October of 2022, and I understand the 50-day EMA does not hold as much weight on this as like the Bitcoin chart, but it is very interesting to see that we have not been above the 50-day EMA since we lost it back in October of 2022, and we have finally reclaimed it. All right. Not only that, yesterday we get even more bullish news. We've been talking about this ISM, Purchasing Managers Index, the PMI, for a while, all right? And we have highlighted and noted that every single prior bull run that we've gotten has always been, when this thing has expanded, over 50, every single one. We know that both of the runs that we had and local tops that we had in crypto were also coincidentally when this thing made local tops last year, and then basically at the end of 24, March of 24, and then January of 25. All right. And if you don't believe me, go back in the charts. You can look at the local peaks for altcoins at these times. Not only did we get above the 50 finally, and well above it, it actually went up again. They were actually predicting this thing to go down. They actually expected this thing to drop, and it has not. And the reason why this is so important is it's showing that the economy is actually expanding. So just picture this, guys. Once this war and this issue in Iran is fully over, all right, we get a full announcement, which I think is coming in the next couple of weeks, because Trump does not, I'm telling you, Trump does not want to tear down these markets too much more than where they're already at. He already is playing a very slippery slope because of midterms coming up. Trump's parameter of how well his presidency is going to be determined by how well the market is. If the markets continue to drop too much more, that is going to mess up his plans. He does not want to go into midterms during a bear market. That would be terrible. Being the business president, being known as the business president, going into midterms during a bear market would be absolutely devastating for his plan during midterms, guys. And keep that in the back of your mind. Like, you have to understand this. All right, guys? So just understand, once the Iran conflict is over with, then you have to start looking at, once you remove the negative, the bearish issue that's been going on, what's left? It's nothing really but bullish stuff that's happening, guys. And if you don't see this and you don't start preparing, you're going to get left behind. And if this is the first time you've ever seen any of my content, my name's Coach JM. I've been a digital asset investor for over 5 years. I'm the founder of Alpha Syndicate, and I also host all the Crypto Talk workshops inside of Capital Club. And if you want to really learn this stuff, guys, like really learn it, you want to learn the macro, the fundamental, the technical analysis, and how we put it together. If you want a place you can get coached and mentored, click the link below, guys. We'll see you inside.